Please do not listen to this recording if you are travelling in a moving vehicle. Now, if you just like to make yourself comfortable, whether you prefer to sit up and listen or lay down is absolutely fine, and you can have your eyes open or closed throughout is absolutely fine. But uncrossing any hands, arms, legs or feet. And this is to allow circulation throughout your body whilst you are deeply relaxing. Now, if you would like to focus on your breathing and notice how, as you breathe in, you breathe in calmness, relaxation, and peace of mind. And with every breath that you breathe out, you breathe out anything worrying, any niggles, and anything that does not make you feel like you are completely relaxed right now. And this will continue throughout with every breath that you breathe in and out. Now, I would like to explain to you about a very special talent that you have, and you may not even know that you have this ability and talent. And pretty much all children have this talent and ability. And that ability is to be able to see very clearly, very, very clearly inside your minds, inside your heads, where all of your thoughts that you have, everything you think about, your imagination. And children by far have a much greater imagination than what adults and grown-ups have. And you have a very special ability, and that is to see very clearly inside your head, to be able to see very, very clearly each and every single word you hear me say. As you follow and listen with each and every word you hear me say, in your mind, in your head, you have an eye, just like the physical eyes on your face, that you see everything that is happening in your everyday routine, in your life. You also have an eye inside your mind, exactly the same as the eyes on your face. But the eye inside your head sees all of your inner thoughts, images, pictures, colours, very clearly in your imagination. And you can see so clearly inside your head, just as clearly as your physical eyes on your face see everything else. So clearly, just as clearly as when you are dreaming when you sleep at night. Just as clearly and real as the physical eyes on your face see everything, that you may wonder if the eyes on your face are open or closed, because you can see just as clearly inside your head as the eyes on your face. Okay. Now, using the eye inside your mind that I just explained to you, using your ability to see all of your thoughts, I would like you to imagine and visualize and see in your head that you are standing at the top of a cliff. You are stood on a cliff top, overlooking a beautiful sandy beach, and you are stood at the top of this cliff top at sunset in the evening, overlooking that beautiful beach. And that beach that you are looking at from where you are standing safely at the top of the cliff, that beach, all of the scenery that you can see around you is lit up very clearly by the early moonlight from the moon and the fading sunset, where the last bit of sun is still shining. And the early moonlight and the fading sunset, which shows all of the different colours of the sky. And you can clearly see that the beach you are looking at goes on for miles either side of you as you look left to right, right to left. And it is very peaceful and quiet here where you are stood. In this place, very peaceful and quiet. There are no other sounds around you right now other than the sound of the waves. Other than the sound of the waves as they lap on the sandy shore. And as you gaze up and look up at the night sky, the sun has now almost disappeared out of sight. With its last few rays of sunshine that show the colours of the sky and the stars above you. There are stars beginning to sparkle brightly, and you notice that a little way ahead of you from where you are stood at this cliff top, you notice that there is a group of benches, colourful benches painted with lovely bright colours on the cliff top. And you walk over to where the benches are so that you can sit down. But as you approach these benches that overlook the cliff top, you notice that there appears to be what you recognise as a telescope. A telescope which is a device that magnifies with a very powerful lens, magnifies whatever you point the telescope at. And this telescope can see the sky above you, magnified to a much greater level of vision than what eyesight alone can see. So you reach into your pockets for your 50 pence pocket money that you have left, and you push the 50p coin through the slot on the telescope to make it work. And you do that now. Now, as you look at the night sky through that telescope, which has magnified all of the stars in the sky much bigger and much clearer, and you can see constellations in the sky. And Constellations are groups of stars that resemble shapes and patterns. You can see through this telescope, you can see all of the 12 star signs of the zodiac in groups of stars across the night sky. And as you gaze at all of those constellations, those groups of stars that resemble different patterns and shapes, out of nowhere, you notice that there is a different group of stars, a different constellation that resembles the shape of a horse. And you are quite curious and fascinated by this group of stars that look like the shape of a horse. They shine very brightly and very clearly. And there is no doubt these stars, they definitely look like a horse. Then you notice that this horse in the sky, this shaped group of stars, has a pointed line by its forehead. This constellation group of stars that you are looking at through the telescope is in fact called Monoceros. And Monoceros is a legendary unicorn shaped pattern in a group of stars in the sky. And Monoceros has a message for you. Now, you suddenly notice that the telescope you are looking through has stopped working now, as your money, the 50 pence that you paid, has now run out. So, as you sit on one of the benches nearby, in order to receive the message from Monoceros, a very important message just for you, in order to receive this message that you are entitled to, specially entitled to, what you now need to do is to say a series of words in your mind. What you need to do is to say these words in your head after me, after each word that you hear me say, word for word. Now, in your head, repeat these words after me to yourself and to Monoceros. Okay. Monoceros, great unicorn in the sky, tell me what I need to know so that when I grow up big, when I grow up older, I will be a millionaire. And I repeat again and say those words in your mind after me. Monoceros, great unicorn in the sky, tell me what I need to know so that when I grow up I will be a millionaire. Okay, now what I am going to do is I will give you a moment of silence where you will no longer hear my voice, and I'll come back to you after the silence. And in this duration of silence, you will hear the answer that Monoceros has for you in response to the words that you said, in response to your question. And I give you that silence now. Okay, and I hope that Monoceros, great unicorn in the sky, gave you the answer to your question. And you can thank Monoceros for giving you its answer. You thank Monoceros for giving you its answer because now you get one last question. You have one final question that you can ask Monoceros, any question you like. But choose your question wisely, as this is your final question that you will be able to ask. And I will now once again give you a moment of silence to hear the answer that Monoceros has for you, and I give you that silence now. Okay. Now that Monoceros has answered your questions, it is now time for you to go home. It is now time for you to leave the cliff top, to leave the benches where you were sat, and it's time to go home. So you do that. You do exactly that. You go home. And in a few moments' time, I am going to wake you up from this hypnosis meditation. But just before I wake you up, I want you to know something very special. That Monoceros, the great unicorn in the sky, is within you. Monoceros is within you, within your heart, within your minds, within your heads. And those clear, bright stars, those clear, bright, shining stars that you saw, you will always be able to see them shining bright inside your mind, inside your head, in your thoughts. And those shining bright magical stars will always light the way for you. They will always light the way for you, so you can always clearly see every step of your life that you take. Every step of your life that you take as you grow older, day by day, year by year, you will be able to see always by the shining bright stars that shine over you. You'll always clearly see everything that you do, every step of your life that you take. Those stars will always light the way for you. Okay, Now, I am going to wake you up from this hypnotic meditation. Okay, now, in a few moments' time, you will hear me count up from 1 to 10, and with each higher number I count upwards, you'll become more and more awake. With each number I count up, and by the count of 8 you will have opened your eyes, and by the count of 10 you will be fully wide awake. 1, 2, 3, waking yourself up. 4, 5, 6, more and more awake. 7 and 8, opening your eyes. 9 and 10, you are fully wide awake now.